Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Let's bring you up to speed with the big happenings in the polity and in politics. Police arrest suspect allegedly connected to the killings of Ahoada community persons in Benue State that left over 150 persons dead. President Bola Tinubu has handed over the chairmanship of ECOWAS to Sierra Leonean President in a ceremony in Lagos. Thanks again for joining us on the program where we keep track of happenings in politics and in the polity. At midday, I call it the all-access pass to your happenings right here in the country, Nigeria. Let's begin with what played out yesterday in the nation's capital. President Bola Tinubu expressing concern over the slow pace in activating the ECOWAS standby force, urging West African leaders to move decisively from planning to implementation in combating terrorism and transnational crime. The president was speaking at the 67th ordinary session of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, which was held in Abuja, the nation's capital. At the meeting, President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone emerged as the new chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government as President Bola Tinubu's two-term reign at the helm of affairs of the regional bloc comes to an end.
The last time the authority of the heads of state and government of ECOWAS met in this hall, the decision to approve the exit of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso was reached. Today at the round table, the flags of the three countries are conspicuously missing. But what decision will ECOWAS be taking today? This is what we are expecting. Follow us. President Bola Tinubu leads other heads of state into the hall after a closed-door meeting that lasted for several hours. As they settle down, the president of the ECOWAS Commission gives the opening remarks.
Those who joined President Gov't, head of state Gov't of Nigeria, to establish ECOWAS deserve our permanent commendation.
President Tinubu has been chairing the authority of the heads of state and government of the ECOWAS since 2023, and under him, the organization has made some giant strides, including the establishment of a standby force.
We must act decisively to operationalize the ECOWAS standby force on the fight against terrorism to serve as an instrument for peace and stability for our region.
After the speeches, the meeting goes into a closed-door session for a few minutes before members of the media are asked to return for a brief on the major outcomes.
It has been a profound honor and privilege to lead this esteemed body, and I remain deeply humbled by the trust and support you have extended to me throughout my tenure. As I now hand over the mantle of leadership to my great friend and dear brother, His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone, the new chairman of ECOWAS Authority of State and Government, I do so with a deep sense of fulfillment and optimism for the future of West Africa.
The president then hands over to his successor. He vacates the chairmanship seat to take his new seat as a member. In his inaugural speech, President Julius Maada Bio announces key areas his leadership will focus on in the next 1 year.
As chair, I will prioritize 4 key areas. First, restoring constitutional order and deepening democracy. Second, revitalizing regional security cooperation. Third, unlocking economic integration. Fourth, building institutional credibility. ECOWAS must reform itself and become more transparent, efficient, and responsive to its people's needs.
With that, the event comes to a close as President Bola Tinubu and the heads of state make their way out of the hall. But the president of the ECOWAS Commission engages members of the media for more on the outcomes of their engagements.
With regard to our relations, ECOWAS's relations with the members, the 3 member states that have withdrawn and formed the Alliance of Sahelian States, the authority has decided on the appointment of a suitable candidate as the chief negotiator to lead the discussion with the 3 countries. ECOWAS may have been facing challenges just like any institution, but ECOWAS remains what it is.
And these words of assurance given by the ECOWAS Commission President as to the strength of ECOWAS in the face of its challenges is one thing that President Julius Bio has to run with as the new chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. From the banquet hall of the State House in Abuja, Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
All right, so that's how it played out at the ECOWAS heads of government and head of state in Abuja. And we hope that more has to be done, more will be done rather, to ensure that the sub-region is better secured and safe, and perhaps get the men from the Sahel to rejoin the bloc. But away from regional issues to national issues right here in Nigeria, let's head to Rivers State, where controversy trails the resignation of Goodluck Ihemacho, the administrator of Ahoada East local government area of Rivers State, following the circulation of a disturbing video that raises questions about whether his exit was voluntary or forced. In his resignation letter addressed to the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibokete Bass, Mr. Ihemacho expressed gratitude for the opportunity to serve. However, a video surfaced online allegedly showing Ihemacho being assaulted by a group of unidentified individuals. In the video, is seen sitting on the floor, as you can see, repeatedly struck with canes, while voices off camera yell at him saying, sign that thing and put your signature. 2 documents believed to be resignation letters are seen on the chair in front of him, and he appears to be holding a pen. A second man, later identified as a council secretary, Mr. Alabi Umegbwebe, is also dragged into the room and assaulted. So, the chief security officer or chief of staff to the administrator in Ahoada East was fingered by the police authorities in Rivers State to come and answer questions. But prior to responding or honoring that invitation, he was on our program this morning, the morning brief, to state his own side of the story as to what happened in that council. Take a listen to him.
I, as the chief security officer of the LGA, how would I do that? How would I venture into carrying hoodlums to go and attack the man I'm working with? So if the CP is making such a decision, and I am not among, I was never found in the video, and the only thing that happened that day from the video, if you watch very well, I don't know who did the video or whatever, but I only know that when I heard the noise from my office, that is how the matter generated. When I heard the noise from office of political appointees that the sole administrator did not pay for the month of May, when I barged in, I was asked to shut the door, that it is within him and those political appointees. And I never made any video nor carry any any hoodlums to go and attack him. That aspect of the money that he embezzled, that is left for him and the police and the other financial institute, like the EFCC and all the rest. It's not in my jurisdiction, but I only itemize this could be the reason, because when the political appointee approached him and they were arguing, so I don't know what next happened inside that place. But the only thing I know that this is what I, as the CSO, have also written down in my own perspective.
Okay, that is the man accused of leading the thugs. He's saying there are stakeholders who have not been paid by the council's administrator. It's a conundrum of legal issues. You have a sole administrator that's contentious in the state, who appointed administrators in the local government, and it's just a conundrum of issues. But let's bring in our correspondent, Charles Oporum, who is going to bring us up to speed as to what the developments are. Charles, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Rivers is one day, is it one crisis or one drama? Never-ending controversy as far as Rivers State is concerned. Just while we're talking with Mr. Hector this morning, just before I came on the show, this video was shared. So let's take a look into this particular video. We don't know this guy, but he said he's also a stakeholder in Ahoada East, a member of the GDI. He claims Grassroots Democratic Initiative in that video, he claims. So, Charles, I want you to take a listen, and then maybe you give us what do you know about this?
I will not applaud it, neither can I condemn it. I'm in a tight situation, honestly. Let us look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. The issue of the sole administrator of Ahoada East local government, his lapses in government, so that you people can look at it. Now, in the area of security, this is somebody who allegedly moved the security vote of Ahoada East in an FRGPC meeting. The documents are here. From 15 million to 60 million naira, and it was released to him. But do you know that the DPO of Ahoada Police Division said they had a vehicle issue and pleaded that the sole administrator should assist them with 1.3 million. They wrote the council so that they can fix their vehicle to respond to emergencies, to secure our people. This sole administrator refused to honor them. They refused to assist them till date. That's police, 1.3 million. DSS had issue of vehicle, pleaded for assistance, 2,300,000, Ahoada East Division. He refused to assist them. The records are here. I should be invited. If all these things are wrong, invite me. I challenge you to invite me. Civil defense said their vehicle had engine problem, requested for just 500,000 assistance from the council. Just 500,000. Let's fix our vehicle so that we can secure the people. He refused to give to them. The army said they had a vehicle issue, wrote a letter officially to the council. He refused to approve it for the army. Now let me ask you, if he was doing well, if he was performing, do you think these security agencies will be there? And such person was drilled for 1 hour inside the council. None of the agencies responded on time. Ask yourself, where is that problem from? Let us be able to analyze the situation and say, oh, this is where the weakness is, this is where the problem is. How can such thing be happening? For 1 hour, security agencies that are around could not respond.
Charles, there are so many questions being raised from that. I don't know, have you been able to identify who this young man is? And he has raised a lot of things in that short video. Charles, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I haven't been able to confirm his name. All I've been able to get is that he's a member of the GDI in Ahoada East. someone has just sent me or is sending me the list of GDI members from Ahoada. I have to scroll through to actually get his name, but I don't know his name. But he's one of the coordinators of GDI. We know that GDI is a political pressure group that is loyal to the FCT minister, more or less. So if you listen to some of the things he said, that video is about 7 minutes and 42 seconds when I sent him the video. There was a part where he said they collated our names as stakeholders of the Ahoada East local government GDI members and approved 42 million for us, and we were not paid that money. So it raises questions. Members of political pressure groups on the official payroll of the local governments, because he said that part in the video. Maybe if you scroll forward, you'd most likely hear him when he said that particular those particular words. He said he's not justifying, he's not in support of the assault on Mr. Ihem Nacho, but that he can also not condemn it, so that he's in a tight corner. Rivers State had been away from the negative limelight for a period of time. In fact, it was so peaceful that last week a colleague of mine said it looks like there is no major news for us to report again, and then boom, it just comes up like this. So we begin to hear stories like this. I am aware that the Commissioner of Police has invited them, just like when you interviewed Hector earlier this morning. So we are expecting them at the CP's office either today or tomorrow. So any moment from between now and Wednesday, we expect them at the CP's office. That letter is out in the public domain. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions, Jeff. Questions of where the security guys were when this thing happened, and who is actually backing these people to assault a local government administrator who is more or less a local government chairman. And then, of course, the other question, these allegations of financial impropriety, is there any truth to them? And if there's truth, of course, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission should get involved. Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. This gives us a picture of what we'll be looking at now that we have decided the federal government said local government should have autonomy. So we're beginning to see how some of these monies may eventually be spent. In fact, where I even got curious was the fact that it said the DSS, the police, the army, everybody was writing to council. I don't know when council now funds security apparatus that are managed by the federal government. So there's a lot of questions. Charles, thank you. We'll touch base with you if there's anything developing. Charles Oporum is our correspondent from Port Harcourt coming in to give us update. Thank you, Charles. Let's head to Kebbi State, where there was an incident where bandits attacked that community in Kebbi State, and an unspecified number of persons were killed in a community in Kebbi State. But the governor has since reacted to all of this, but let's show you what the governor said, the extent of his commitment to securing his people before bringing our second guest on the program. If my producer can give me that slide of the governor's remarks as far as what he said is concerned. I wish I can catch that slide. But let's bring in our guest, Alhaji Kabiru. Okay, yes, I have it now. I will do whatever is humanly possible to protect the lives of the people, even if it means emptying the state treasury. That's a commitment of the governor, Mohammed Nasser Idris, reacting to the killings in that community in Kebbi State. Let's bring in our guest, Alhaji Kabiru Alarama, is the Honorable Commissioner for Animal Health, joining us from Kebbi State. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Okay.
Alhaji, can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
All right, I want to be able to establish the fact that you can hear me. Can you hear me clearly now, sir?
No.
You can hear him, but not clearly.
No, I'm not hearing you. The sound is not clear.
Okay, but we can hear you. But so, I don't know, maybe if you can pick anything I say, we understand from the last report we got in terms of that attack in Zuru Emirates that an unspecified number of persons were the ones killed. It's about some days now, almost a week. How many people have been confirmed killed by those bandits?
Okay, as you are all aware that the Kebbi State government, under the able leadership of His Excellency Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris Kaurangwandu, is up to the task. When this issue of killing by bandits or bandit attacks that happened on Tuesday, Wednesday, up to Thursday last week. His Excellency sent a powerful delegation under the leadership of the Deputy Governor, and we went there. We discussed with the community members and the community leaders. They confirmed that about 16 people were killed at Tadruga and 14 at Kebbi, both in Zuru and of course Abu local government areas. And you see, we have this experience for the past 5-6 years ago, and many of our people were killed, and we are seeing the effort of government for the first time. And what is happening now is what we are praying long before. After the coming of this administration under the governor, as I said, the governor established a ministry, a whole ministry for Home Affairs and Internal Security, headed by a commissioner for the first time in the history of Kebbi State. And also a special advisor has been appointed. And that special advisor is from Zuru, who was the former military officer. So the delegation went there, we condoled with the people, and we provided support to the family of the deceased and the injured people. So, and the government is doing all it takes to deploy security personnel to that axis that we are sharing border with Zamfara, Sokoto, and Niger, but that is Zamfara border, and the government is doing all that it takes to deploy security personnel there so that to avoid.
So, Commissioner, so that within the time we have, how many people have been killed? Because Abubakar Malami, the former Minister of Justice,
so totally
said just hold on, just hold on.
30 people were killed according to the community leaders.
Okay. Okay, 30 people in total, because I know the government.
16 at Taruga and 14 at Kebbi.
I know that the government was countering the numbers given by, I understand, was given by Abubakar Malami. I understand the government. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh dear.
Okay, what
just hold on. Let me just make the comment. I'm saying that government was countering Abubakar Malami, who said it was 200. You are now saying 30. And you said the government has done...
No, that is political figure by the former Minister for Justice. We went there ourselves. If the minister wants to know the actual figure of how many people were killed there, the minister should go there by himself. We went there, and as I told you, a powerful delegation was sent by the governor because the governor was not around. The deputy governor, the speaker, the state party chairman, the commissioners, and the local government chairman of the affected areas were all went there on Friday evening. And we discussed with the community leaders, the youths, and what have you. And they confirmed to us that 16 people were killed at Tadruga, which is part of Zuru local government, and 14 were killed at Kebbi. Kebbi is part of the Nkwosabu local government area, so totaling 30 people were killed, and some were injured, some were kidnapped, and they even confirmed to us that some of the people that were kidnapped were rescued by our security personnel, and they are joined with their family now. So saying...
All right, so let me get to my next question, Commissioner. Yes, let me get to my next question as we begin to wind down. Whether one person, 10 persons, 15 persons...
Well.
Oh dear. Can you... Okay, just listen. I'm sure you will hear me if you just listen, please. Whether it's 10 person, 1 person that was killed is a failure on the part of government. So what drastic measure is being taken besides some of this high-level visits you talked about and all of that? In terms of community protection, is there any measure to that effect to ensure that people are just dying all over the country, and it's totally unacceptable?
The security, the governor discussed with the top security leaders at the national level, and they promised to send a powerful security personnel in order to block the axis area that is linking Zuru and Zamfara state. So that is what the government is doing. And I told you, since the assumption of office by His Excellency the Governor, he established a ministry on Home Affairs and Internal Security, and also appointed a commissioner. The special advisor on security was appointed from Zuru axis, so that the special advisor is aware of all that is happening in Zuru community, and he is doing all his best to see how he can tackle this issue. And
all
for
right.
the past 6 years, despite that I cannot hear you, our people are farmers. They cannot go to farm. But after this administration, after the assumption of office of this administration, our people for the past 2 years, we recognize and experience a huge harvest of our farm products.
All right, Mr. Kabiru, we're totally out of time. If you can hear me, my apologies. I don't know what's wrong with the network. While you're talking, I can hear you, but you seem not to hear me, and that will be a bit of a challenge. Kabiru Alarama is the Commissioner for Animal Health in Kebbi State. Thank you for coming on the program. But just before we go, let's tell you that some arrests have been made in Benue State since that incident. Remember, the president had paid a physical visit to that place, where he told the security forces to ensure that arrest was made. And this is the outcome of that meeting with the president and the stakeholders. And police authorities have now confirmed the arrest of some persons. The number has not been disclosed, but let's take a listen to the CP.
I can assure you that a number of the suspects who committed the heinous act are with police. And with in due course, we will make a press release on that, and you will know them. But you can assure you that we have arrested a number of them, and we are still on the trail of some of them. About for the motivation of the government, I can assure you that we work hand in hand with the state governor. The state governor provides, make adequate provision for all our logistic needs.
Well, that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.